You'd be hard-pressed to find a property in Las Vegas more polarizing than Circus Circus. Everybody has an opinion. And today, I'm going to give you a look inside my West Tower 2-queen room. Before diving into the room review, I should note that I paid $62 all in for my one-night stay. That is inclusive of Circus Circus's resort fee, which is $41.95 plus tax. It's also important to note that parking at Circus Circus is still free. They're one of the few resorts on the Strip still offering it, and I took full advantage. At the check-in desk, I actually arrived a little bit early and paid $15 for the privilege to check in early, which is really reasonable compared to other resorts on the Strip. I paid it. I was in and out of that check-in desk within about 15 minutes. They also have self-serve kiosks that are available to use if you prefer that option. On the way up to the room, I like to scope out common areas like elevator lobbies, hotel hallways, as they're usually pretty indicative of what you can expect once in your accommodation. If I'm being honest, Circus Circus was pretty rough. So there was peeling wallpaper in the elevator lobby. There was etched graffiti in almost every elevator, carved into plastic and metallic surfaces. The hotel hallway itself was dimly lit. I wouldn't describe it as inspirational. Let's just say that. So I made it to my room, opened the door, and I was blasted by a wall of hot, humid air. Made my way over quickly to the ancient-looking thermostat, cranked that thing down manually, and the HVAC unit actually did a spectacular job of removing the heat and humidity from the room in short order. I know you've all heard the horror stories, I have too, that the room initial impressions, it felt okay. The carpet appeared to be recently refreshed. It was plush. I don't know if you can see that in the video. Furnishings, headboards, all seemed relatively new, albeit a little bit dinged up, especially at the bases, which isn't uncommon. There was what I would describe as a minimalist circus theme to the artwork, which had kind of that IKEA vibe, but it worked. It was okay. The beds were clean, comfortable, completely acceptable, and then the room had the typical assortment of an ironing board, there was a work desk, and a safe, things you'd expect in a Las Vegas hotel room. The TV definitely felt as though it was on the small side, struggled a little bit to fill out the wall, and it definitely felt like maybe last decade's tech. The remote didn't have a back covering the batteries. What amazed me though was this clock radio. This bad boy had to have been manufactured in 1991. I can't even find the company that produced it on the internet, and I've done at least 7 minutes of research. Just a nostalgic blast from the past, as I haven't manually tuned an FM radio in probably 20 years. Cleanliness-wise, overall, I was pretty impressed. It is rare that I go through a hotel room in Las Vegas and am unable to find a rogue hair 2 or 3, either in the bed, on the sheets, in the corners, or in the bathroom. And I couldn't find one here. So props to the housekeeping team on that front. There was a few kind of splotches. There was a big splotch inside the bathroom mirror, which wasn't a cleanliness issue, more of an internal mirror damage issue that couldn't be cleaned away. The mirror just needs to be replaced. There was a rusty sprinkler head, fire suppression system head, and then there was this mysterious stain on the front of the work desk. I don't know if that was hair gel, yogurt, frosting. You'll have to let me know what you think it is in the comments. After spending some time in the room, I remember thinking, like, this is functional, this is okay, albeit uninspiring. There were no amenities that really blew me away, especially in the bathroom. Fixtures, lighting, and finishes just felt motelish or institutional, just kind of cheap. if that makes sense. Let's shift focus for a second away from the room and to the broader resort experience, because that's likely why you're considering staying at Circus Circus or visiting to begin with. Their kid-friendly attractions specifically tend to be the big draw. Chief among them is their Adventuredome indoor theme park, which is climate controlled and offers rides that range from tame and suitable for young children all the way to extreme and suitable for, older kids, teens through adults. Everyone will have something to do at the Adventuredome. Tickets run $30 or $60 for a full day pass, and that all depends on whether or not you're over or under 48 inches tall. Aside from that, they also have a Midway and arcade, and the arcade it's sprawling. It's the biggest arcade on the strip, and they have games from yesteryear and today, but also have Midway style games, which are games that you'd find like at your local county fair or state fair, where you can win stuffed animals or other prizes for throwing a ring onto, a bottle, things of that nature. Their prize redemption room is massive. It's the biggest that I've seen in Las Vegas, and I've been to almost every arcade. It's akin to a retail establishment in and of itself. Now, most kids there were redeeming their tickets for Tootsie Rolls and Dum Dum Suckers, but they have everything from trinkets and candy to TVs, video game systems, drones. So there's a lot of higher ticket items that your kid can aspire to earn. There's also a water park with a 50-foot tall water slide tower. There's also a splash pad out there, and that's reserved for hotel guests only. So if you're not staying at Circus Circus, you won't have access to that water park. Food-wise, the buffet at Circus Circus is the cheapest buffet on the strip right now, and I recently ate there. I will link to the review of that buffet in the description, along with my reviews of the Adventuredome and the Midway and arcade. But their buffet, they lack a signature item like prime rib or crab legs. You're not going to find that there, but what they do well is cater to kids and families. So you're going to find things there like chicken strips, corn dogs, things of that nature. There's also the steakhouse, which has been a staple of Circus Circus for decades. It's widely regarded as one of the best, if not the best, in Las Vegas. So adults, if you're looking for a nice meal out, it's a reason to visit Circus Circus in and of itself. And then they recently installed a food court that is cheap, fast eats, think like Burger King, and other fast food options. So everyone can split up and get whatever they want in the food court. Adults, you'll want to note, Circus Circus is the only casino on the entire Las Vegas Strip that offers real token slot games. Think, $1 and $5 denominations. So think the slots that actually kick out metallic coins or tokens. So if you've been craving that ting, 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 or hauling around, buckets full of metal, give it a shot. They moved them over to Slots of Fun, which is a small separate casino 5 feet away, 5 steps away from Circus Circus itself. And they introduced some pretty good food and drink deals there. You can get a draft beer for $2, and a couple food options are also pretty inexpensive at $2 too. There's a shrimp cocktail, I believe a hot dog, and popcorn, among a few other things. So give Circus Circus a shot if you're craving Vegas of yesteryear. The verdict. Is a West Tower room at Circus Circus worth the money? In my case, $62. The room was fine, albeit unimpressive. I think there's a really good use case here for folks that are budget conscious, you want to save money and do Vegas cheap, and you want to be nearby kid-friendly activities like the Midway and arcade, the Adventuredome, free circus acts, things of that nature. The problem I have when you go to Vegas, I feel like you want to feel some excitement. Vegas should be an exciting destination. And for me, although this room was okay, peeling wallpaper, small TVs, busted remotes, mystery stains on the work desk, it zapped that excitement pretty quickly. Not to mention Circus Circus's location on the north end of the strip is less than ideal. You're not going to be walking to Center Strip Resorts from Circus Circus. For my money, when I'm doing a budget trip, I would rather stay in a better location at resorts like Harrah's, Link, Flamingo, Excalibur, or even Luxor, all of which are priced very similarly and offer a better location, and in my opinion, a resort experience that's a little bit better than that at Circus Circus. Thanks for watching. Do me a quick favor. If you have strong opinions on Circus Circus, or you have more questions about the resort experience, drop them in the comments below. We pride ourselves on eating at the restaurants, staying in the hotels, and doing the attractions with the intent of giving you a realistic idea of what to expect and whether or not it's worth your money. Subscribe, hit the bell to be alerted when new content is available. We've got a lot in the hopper.